इस मैप को ध्यान से देखो, ये एक सैटेलाइट मैप है। दिस सैटेलाइट मैप इज यूज्ड बाय ट्रेडर्स ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड टू बाय एंड सेल ऑयल इन द इंटरनेशनल मार्केट। अगर आप ध्यान से देखोगे तो यू विल सी अ स्मॉल शैडो, एक छोटी परछाई दिखेगी आपको। By analyzing this shadow, you can actually predict oil supply much better than any government data, more accurate than any government data, and much faster than any government data in the entire world. This map potentially stands between you and $1 million. Here is how. After crude oil is extracted from Earth, it is stored in these floating roof oil tanks. The speciality of these tanks is, जैसे ही इनका नाम है, the roof actually floats on the oil surface. So अगर आपके पास टैंक में ऑयल कम है, which means the roof will be further down. और अगर आपके पास टैंक में ऑयल ज्यादा है, the roof will be further up. Now, as the sun shines on this tank, basically एक परछाई पड़ती है on the floating roof. If there is less oil in the tank, roof is further down और जो shadow है वो लंबी बनती है. Whereas if the tank is full of crude oil, the floating roof is up and there is a much shorter shadow. When satellite snaps pictures of these oil tanks from above, length of the shadow can easily be calculated to estimate how much oil is actually in these tanks. Traders, hedge funds and investment firms analyze millions of these images to estimate how much crude oil is stored. देखो, if all the crude oil tanks are full, it means कि market में crude oil की बहुत ज़्यादा supply है. And in absence of higher demand, actually crude oil prices will fall in the future. So traders can basically bet against or short crude oil futures and basically mint money. Using satellite images to predict supply of crude oil is just one use case. In July 1962, Walmart ने अपना पहला स्टोर खोला। अगर आपको Walmart नहीं पता है, Walmart is basically D-Mart, बस US के लिए। For context, Walmart is the world's biggest company by revenue. Its owner, Sam Walton, was so much obsessed with nitty-gritties of the business that he used to literally fly over Walmart stores in a private plane. Q, just to check how much full the parking lots were. If he saw parking lots were full with cars, he knew stores are doing well. But if he saw parking lots were empty, he knew there is some problem with the sales. वो competitor stores के साथ भी ऐसे ही करते थे. He would basically fly over these competitor stores and if he saw full parking lots, he would actually get down and try to study what exactly were they doing right. In this way, he would always have a real-time data about sales of his stores. Instead of waiting for store managers कि वो अपने numbers दें, फिर वो numbers analyst analyze करे और उसके बाद उनके पास आए, Sam Walton always had a very real-time view of how the sales at each of his Walmart stores looked like. What Sam Walton did with his eyes in the sky, today traders, hedge funds, investment firms are doing the same thing with satellite imagery. Agar satellite imagery is showing lesser cars in a parking over let's say a quarter, you can be sure that the company will miss its earnings. While the whole world will wait for the official reports to come out, you can get this information months in advance if you have access to this satellite imagery. This type of data is called alternative data. Any type of data actually that you can find which is different from traditional sources, it's termed as alternative data. And it's very fascinating the extent to which traders go through to collect this data. On 12th June 2025, something very weird started happening at Pentagon. What is Pentagon? Pentagon is headquarters of US Department of Defense. At 6:59 p.m. local time, Google Maps showed a huge surge in activity at 4 nearby pizza shops. सिर्फ एक घंटे बाद, just around an hour after this, first reports of Israel striking on Iran started coming in. Similar thing happened on 1st August 1990. On 1st August 1990, a nearby Domino's in Washington reported a massive surge in pizza deliveries to the CIA building. The very next day, that is on 2nd August 1990, Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. देखो, here the understanding is before every major geopolitical event, lot of employees of Department of Defense, CIA, etc. stay back at the office instead of logging off and heading back to their homes. उसमें से कुछ लोग पिज्जा ऑर्डर करते होंगे, भूख लग रही है, and thus the pizza deliveries go up significantly than normal. अगर आप ट्रेडर हो, if you're a trader, you may use the signal to make money by shorting the market. But then there are some easier ways to collect data. Traders routinely scan through sites like Amazon, Flipkart to look at reviews and ratings. Higher the number of reviews, it means higher number of products were sold. Or if those reviews are majorly 5-star reviews, then you know the product is hit with the customers and the company will sell lots of those products, leading to higher quarterly earnings. Both Visa and Mastercard, they also sell credit card transaction data. मतलब किस स्टोर पे कितना अमाउंट खर्च हुआ है. Around 24% of Visa's revenue and 38% of MasterCard's revenue is generated just by selling this transaction data. In 2019, MIT researchers actually made a model to predict earnings of 30 companies for their upcoming quarter. And this was done by just using their credit card transaction data. और results पता है क्या है? They outperformed Wall Street analysts on 57% of those predictions. इसका मतलब पता है क्या है? अगर आपके पास ये डेटा है कि कंज्यूमर्स कहां पैसा स्पेंड कर रहे हैं और कितना पैसा स्पेंड कर रहे हैं, दिस इंफॉर्मेशन इज एब्सोल्युटली गोल्ड माइन फॉर ट्रेडर्स एंड इन्वेस्टर्स. देन देयर इज सोशल मीडिया. ट्रेडिंग एल्गोरिथम्स जो होते हैं, दे रेगुलरली स्कैन सोशल मीडिया फॉर एनी ट्रेंड्स, एनी न्यूज हेडलाइंस, पीपल सेंटिमेंट्स, व्हाटएवर दे कैन फाइंड, एनीथिंग दैट कैन मूव अ स्टॉक अप और डाउन इन द शॉर्ट टर्म. कभी-कभी it leads to very comical situations like the Hathaway effect. Whenever Anna Hathaway, the Hollywood actress, had a movie receive positive reviews, or if let's say there was any positive news headline about Anna Hathaway, such as Anna Hathaway stuns at Oscars, stock of Berkshire Hathaway used to go up. What was happening was these trading algorithms were picking up headlines with Hathaway in the name and they were analyzing it to be positive news. And then they were thinking, this must be about Berkshire Hathaway. Meaning they would buy the stock, therefore the stock went up. There are a lot of other ways also. You can track job listings on LinkedIn to see if company is expanding or not. You can analyze Bluetooth pings in a mall to see kitna footfall hai mall mein. You can even track private jets of CEOs to see if they are meeting with any important person. This is a very interesting example. In April 2019, a stock research firm tracked a private jet belonging to CEO of Occidental Petroleum Corporation. And they saw it land on Omaha Airport of USA. Now, what is so special about this airport, you may ask? Omaha is where legendary investor Warren Buffett lives. Just 2 दिन बाद, just 2 days later, Warren Buffett announced he's investing $10 billion in Occidental Petroleum Corp. Again, if you were tracking private jets, you could have foreseen this, you could have analyzed this, you could have made money using this. Whatever technique you choose using alternate data involves 3 stages. Pehla, data collection stage. This is a stage where satellites are used to snap photographs of parking lots. Then data storage stage, where you store millions of these photographs in a way that is legal and compliant. It's very important, right? Then comes the analysis stage, where you deploy machine learning algorithms and AI to make sense of the data. Only then traders can use this to execute trades and actually make loads and loads of money. Market for only these 2 stages is actually worth around $11.6 billion and is expected to grow to $135.7 billion. It's funny how much of this information asymmetry is actually worth. Well, if you think about it, the basis of earning money or providing value is actually information asymmetry. If this video is providing you with meaningful information that you didn't have, that is basically removing the information asymmetry that exists between you and me, you will actually feel satisfied. And maybe you'll share this video and maybe you'll subscribe to this channel and return to this channel again. But the value of information symmetry in stock market is much higher. The ROI is much higher. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you.